Welcome to the top 10 saddest moments in Godzilla movies. I'm pretty excited to see this. I can guess a couple of them for sure, but not 10 of them. I don't really get sad though. I don't care when people die, but when a kaiju dies, my God. Leave a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. All right.
Who says giant monster movies don't have heart? Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 saddest Godzilla moments. For this list, given that many of our entries deal with the endings of the films in question, a heavy spoiler alert is in effect. All right, get your atomic tissues out, folks.
Atomic tissues? What are we gonna be
Number
touching
10,
ourselves? What
Godzilla
the hell?
embraces Manila, son of Godzilla.
God, that thing is hideous. I know, it's amazing and a
This entry in
classic,
the
but
Godzilla
it's, come
franchise
on.
introduced a much kinder, gentler version of the eponymous
Looks like
monster.
it still had a month
one
left
who
in the-
always took time
in the
to
incubator.
look after his son, Manila. But even though the film was meant to make the franchise much more palatable to younger audiences, it still managed to end on a rather melancholy note. After their sunny island home is turned into a frozen wasteland by a weather-altering machine, Godzilla and Manila find themselves trapped in sub-zero temperatures. In order to keep his son safe, the formerly terrifying monster embraces his child in an attempt to keep him warm while the pair hibernates. Now that's good parenting.
That is pretty damn sad, bro. That's pretty freaking depressing right there. That's pretty crazy.
Number 9. Goodbye, Junior.
That
Godzilla
deserves the
vs.
list.
Mechagodzilla 2.
ベビーあなたは仲間のところに来なさい
Another entry featuring Godzilla's
I gotta learn
offspring.
Japanese.
This one never fails to get us misty-eyed. The 90s series of films introduced a new version of Godzilla's child, one that looked a bit less like a stuffed animal. After befriending some humans, the young monster becomes resistant to rejoining his pop,
I would have killed for that thing to just like maul her face like rah, out of nowhere. That'd be crazy.
and initially refuses to return to his natural habitat.
あなたを守ってあげられなくてごめんなさい
Maybe not her, maybe
If
someone
our
else,
dad
but
were
still.
a 300-foot-tall atomic monster, we wouldn't want to go home either. In a final attempt to prevent his foster family from leaving him, the baby even grabs onto their clothes with his teeth. Come on, Junior. How is someone supposed to say no to that?
ベビー
These kind of scenes are always so freaking sad in movies.
分かって
You gotta be all mean to him.
Number 8.
To make him
Death
go,
of
you know?
Godzilla Jr. Godzilla vs. Destoya.
立派なゴジラだ。おや、ゴジラジュニアと呼ぶべきか。
We've already seen Godzilla's pint-sized progeny nearly freeze to death.
Yeah, this was
and
sad
be
as
tearfully
hell.
torn from his human friends.
This should have
But
been
now
one.
we're getting to the really sad stuff.
This should have been number 1 for sure. I can't imagine what makes this
When
look
a
not
monster
that sad.
appears that was created by the Oxygen Destroyer, the machine that killed the original Godzilla, the big guy finds himself fighting for his life. The ensuing battle is one of the most intense in the franchise's history, one we'll touch more on later, but one of the most devastating moments in the sequence is the death of Godzilla's child at the hands of his new nemesis.
This was so rough, bro. This bummed me out.
We never thought we'd see Godzilla mourning, and it's sadder than we could have imagined.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Number 7. Evacuating Earth. Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters.
Apsha.
Godzilla movies have presented some dark moments for humanity, but having to evacuate the entire planet is a whole new ballgame. In the first of a trilogy of animated films, the appearance of Godzilla forces humankind to flee from its homeworld, taking to the stars in the face of an unprecedented threat.
This is pretty cool though. We're probably gonna be doing this in the next 50 years. Make good friends with Elon Musk so you can get like a storage closet on his ship.
父さんと母さんは
もうすぐ追いつくよ。ほら、あのバスだ。おい、なんだあれ。ゴジラだ。ゴジラだぞ。
In the midst of the chaotic
I gotta
evacuation,
rewatch this.
protagonist Haruo Sakaki loses much more than just his home planet when his parents are killed by Godzilla's atomic breath before they can reach the escape ship. Haruo naturally swears revenge, both for his parents and for humanity as a whole, pledging to one day take the Earth back.
What a
Honestly,
complainer.
Can't say we blame him for being mad.
覚えているのは空を焦がす炎と
He has like a 45-year-old man's voice in a 12-year-old boy's body.
Number 6.
Oh, 'cause it was a
Godzilla
flashback.
falls into Mount Mihara, the return of Godzilla.
Yeah, honestly, none of these are gonna beat Destoya killing baby Goji for me. Maybe Zilla 1998 dying, that was pretty sad.
Humanity's victories over Godzilla often come with a melancholy note. and this is a perfect example. When the iconic monster returned to screens in 1985, he was eventually defeated not with military might, but with science and the dangers of the natural world. After it's discovered that Godzilla responds to the movement of birds, he's lured into Mount Mihara, an active volcano. To make sure he stays put, the volcano is then bombed shut. Despite the chaos he's wrought, Godzilla's fall into the smoking maw of the volcano is treated as a somber moment. This is especially true if you watch the American dub, which features a closing monologue by actor Raymond Burr.
Nature has a way sometimes of reminding man of just how small he is. She occasionally throws up the terrible offsprings of our pride and carelessness to remind us of how puny we really are in the face of a tornado, an earthquake, or a Godzilla.
Number 5.
That's actually
Mothra
so beautiful.
sacrifices
Oh my
herself
God.
to save her children. Godzilla Tokyo SOS.
I guess that is pretty sad. Mothra dying is never a happy thing.
Mothra is always willing to step up, or perhaps we should say fly up, to sacrifice herself for the greater good.
Fly
Seriously,
up.
watch enough giant monster movies featuring the giant insect, and you'll notice a distinct tendency towards heroic sacrifices. In this 2003 entry in the
She
franchise,
loves killing
Mothra
herself,
puts
dude.
herself in between Godzilla's fearsome atomic fire breath and her twin offspring.
She needs therapy. She kills herself way too often.
This goes about how you'd expect, with Mothra turning into a fiery effigy before exploding. Her children are saved, but at a terrible cost.
Now they got crazy PSD they got mom
The two
exploding
eventually avenge
PTSD,
their
which is
mother
like the
by
worst
helping
kind.
to subdue Godzilla, but they have some help from an unexpected ally. Number 4, Goodbye, Yoshito. Godzilla Tokyo SOS.
ゴジラの骨を海に返してください
In the 2000s era Godzilla movies, Godzilla's robotic nemesis Mechagodzilla is actually constructed using the skeleton of the original Godzilla. This has a few unintended consequences, not the least of which is the high-tech fighting machine being imbued with some of the original's memories and spirit. This has led to at least one instance of the machine going berserk, but also resulted in an unexpected act of sacrifice.
I love when that happens. Kind of like Monster Zero with
After
Mechagodzilla's
its
brain.
memories were awakened
the
during
other way?
battle, the cyborg weapon bid farewell to its latest pilot before forcibly ejecting them. It then took advantage of the new Godzilla's incapacitation by Mothra's children, plunging itself and Godzilla into the sea.
These movies always have the saddest endings, bro. Damn. That's how I want to go
Number
out.
3, Aftermath, A Prayer for Peace, Godzilla.
安らぎよ光よ徳帰れかし本日
Oh dear.
全国一斉に行われました平和への祈り
While the series eventually became much more focused on being pure escapist fun, it's worth remembering that the film that started it all was something else entirely.
I'm actually
As much
so
a
overdue
parable about the
rewatching
horrors
this
of
movie.
War and nuclear weaponry as a blockbuster disaster movie, Ishido Honda's original vision pulls absolutely no punches in its depiction of the consequences of Godzilla's rampage.
お父ちゃまのそばへ行くのよ
Damn, bro. Damn.
お父ちゃまのところへ行くのよ
Following
Damn.
Godzilla's initial attack on Japan, the film takes the time to showcase the devastation and loss of life, with rows of hospital beds and seemingly endless fields of ruined city drawing parallels to the aftermath of World War II. The sequence is closed out by a mournful choir, making for a haunting and emotionally devastating scene.
You gotta imagine stuff was so depressed back then as well, or like post World War II Japan, the vibes, dude. Could not imagine the vibes.
Number 2, Dr. Sarazawa's death.
Oh, that's
Godzilla.
always sad.
人間というものは弱いもんだよ。一切の書類を焼いたとしても俺の頭の中には残っている。
Like we said, the
I need
original
an eye
Godzilla
patch.
film is full of tragedy and sacrifice. In order to destroy the beast, a brilliant
What's
scientist
gonna be number
named
one?
Dr. Sarazawa uses an experimental device called the oxygen destroyer, which kills anything in a body of water when it's activated. But Sarazawa fears that his invention could be used for evil and elects to sacrifice himself rather than allow it to fall into the wrong hands. This somber sequence closes out the original film on a downbeat note, with humankind's triumph over Godzilla turning tragic. It's a lesson that's been felt in nearly all Godzilla films since.
I just got sucked in. That's good cinema.
2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters offers up a unique twist on this tale, though, as Dr. Sarawa once again sacrifices himself. But this time,
Always
it's
sad,
to save
damn it.
Godzilla.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Goodbye, old friend. Well, that's nice. Damn, I'm old. No, that's how I want to go out. Absolutely. That's just the drunk uncle at a birthday party. Oh, damn. This is gnarly. I'm getting, it's like, nice cinema moments. That sucks. At least she's already in a hospital, though. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have anywhere to go. There's doctors there. Yeah, that's sad.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there, though. Just
Damn
be
it.
sure to subscribe to
What
our
is
channel
the
and ring the
number
bell
one?
to be notified about our latest videos. All right, back to business. Number 1, The Death of Godzilla. Godzilla versus
I guess there's a bunch
Destoya.
of number ones it could have
これが
been.
ゴジラの最後の戦いになるかもしれない。
That is
The
a pretty
90s
good
series
one, I
of Godzilla
suppose.
movies came to a close in 1995.
What would
and
mine have
it was
been?
intended at the time that this would be Godzilla's final curtain call.
I don't know.
To try and bring the series full circle, Godzilla's final opponent would be Destoya, a creature accidentally created by the deployment of the oxygen destroyer in the original film. But in addition to this new threat, Godzilla's internal atomic reactor had begun to overheat. While Godzilla eventually overcomes his imposing new enemy, his reactor melts down shortly thereafter, ending the life of one of cinema's greatest monsters.
That is a crazy
Godzilla
way to
did
go.
return to screens a mere 4 years later, but at the time, it really looked like this was the last we would see of him.
Yeah, honestly, if I thought that was the end of Godzilla, I'd be sad as hell. Yeah, that's a pretty depressing moment, I'm not gonna lie. You chose a good first one. I think my first one would have been stupid. You done good. Although Junior could have been the first one, honestly. I was gonna say like 1998 dying is one of the ones, but that's just from little kid nostalgia. Cause I was like a little kid, you know, and you love when you're a little kid, stuff dying is always way more sad. I cried when Terminator died. I think this was a pretty good list though. I can't think of anything sad that's necessarily happened in the Monsterverse, and I think this video came out before -1. I guess like the saddest moment in the Monsterverse was when that little kid spilled whiskey on a keyboard and it short-circuited Mechagodzilla's tail. That was sad because that was nonsense, but otherwise, yeah, it's not a lot of sad stuff. So yeah, well, this is a good list. I liked it. Leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.